My name is Bill Caudle, and those of you that are my friends that will see this will know and understand the circumstances that have precipitated me making this video. For those of you that do not, which I hope there will be many, 35 days ago today, I lost my oldest son. My oldest son was 23 years old, and he was in his final year at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And he had a very bright future ahead of him. But like so many young people these days, there were stresses and things which may have impacted what I feel was a very poor decision on his part to take his own life. It's a decision that those of us that he leaves behind will be questioning and thinking about for the rest of our lives. And it goes without saying that his mother, his younger brother, and myself are feeling absolutely incredible pain due to what's happened. But in my beliefs, I try to think that perhaps there might be something positive that may in some way come out of this. It's hard to think about anything positive coming out of this, because this young man, this baby-faced young man right here, was a great part of our world and part of the world of a lot of people that we have just really discovered within the past month since his passing. He was compassionate, he was very passionate about his work, and he touched a lot of lives in ways that we are just now finding out about. My real reason for making this video today was to make a bit of a statement. And I'll preface this by saying that I am not an anti-gun person. I'm not a person that has firearms in my home, that goes out and talks about them and uses them frequently, things like that. When I was young, my father taught me how to shoot a shotgun. I have a lot of close friends who are firearms enthusiasts and use them in positive ways, and I have no ill will toward any of them. However, on March 1st of this year, this 23-year-old baby-faced boy who probably never picked up a firearm larger than an air rifle that he may have used at Cub Scout or Boy Scout camp. And he was able to walk in to a firearms store and come away with a weapon. Now, here in the South, and here in a lot of places in the United States, owning a weapon is not a bad thing if it's used for the right purposes. However, this one was used for the wrong purposes. Now, there's no way that the owners of the firearms shop where he purchased the weapon could have known what was going on in his mind, in that dark place that he was in. But, that said, there was no way for any sort of procedures that might have put a delay or put up a red flag that a young man like this was going to do something like this. We can only think of what might have happened if there was a reference required. One or two people who could be called, who could attest to what might be going on, or maybe throw up a red flag that something is wrong for this person to be purchasing a firearm. Here in North Carolina, in the United States, You can purchase a firearm at 18 years old. You cannot drink a beer until you're 21. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. It's one thing for a father and son to be out enjoying sport and things like that, but when 18-year-old kids are able to walk in, just like my son did, to a firearms store and purchase a weapon, either for sport or to do harm to others or maybe even themselves, there is something definitely wrong. We have to live with that. It's a horrible thing to have to live with. Again, I don't have any ill will against firearms enthusiasts and folks that use them in the way that they are meant to be used. But young people with firearms, how many Columbines, Sandy Hooks, Nashvilles, how many John Alec Caudles is it going to take for something to happen? Now I want to tell you a little story. I came here today to the place where my son purchased this weapon. And fortunately, I was met by two law enforcement officers who brokered a conversation for me with the owner of the place where my son bought the weapon that he ended his life with. And this man met me tearfully. And he told me how there were many times that he had ejected, as he said, cowboys, people that he felt shouldn't be there, from his store. There are good people like that. But still, even irregardless of the fact that there's good people like that, there's also a lot of people who will profit on any sale whatsoever for any reason. And there's a lot of bad things happening because of it. I'm a victim of suicide. My son, who was in a very dark place, was able to do this because it was so easy. I would hope that someday someone might take cases like this and realize the harm that can be done and do something about it. Do something about it. I don't want anybody to have to feel the things that I'm feeling now, the things that my wife is feeling now, the things that this young man's brother is feeling now, the way that dozens, hundreds maybe of his friends are feeling now because of this. Guns are very powerful things. But I would like to think that those that think when they have a gun that they have power would someday be able to realize that words and actions can be just as powerful, or if not more so, than a gun. Words and actions. I hope that somehow these words and actions will do something positive that we can remember my son by. Because I can't have him back, much as I want to. His mother, his brother, his friends, all of us would do anything we could to have him back. But we can't have that. But I want something positive to come out of this for someone. It's got to happen. And my son deserves that and so much more. So you look at this baby-faced child once again. Look at that handsome young man who had his whole life ahead of him. And it was ended prematurely. Because it was easy. I want you to think about that. I want you, if you feel strongly enough about this, I want you to share this to everyone that you know. Share it to politicians, local, abroad, wherever you want to share it. Because this is a statement from someone that wasn't fatally wounded, to someone that has been forever wounded by what has happened here. Think about this. Do something positive about this and honor my son in his memory by doing so. Thank you all.